Hi, Donald the Repentless here. I'm going to talk about an interesting subject to me. Now, what I'm going to talk about could apply to Allah or whatever God you happen to bring to mind, but I'm going to be mainly talking about the God of the Bible, the Christian God, and it seems to me that an all just, all loving God would have some kind of empathy, but that might just be me. God, as described in the Old Testament and even in the New Testament, doesn't seem to have very much empathy for his creation. It's sort of a love me or I'm going to burn you sort of scenario. I mean, even when he came into the flesh in Jesus, God didn't seem to learn a lot about the human soul. I don't believe in souls. I don't believe they exist. But you know what I mean when I say soul. He didn't learn anything about empathy. He didn't learn anything about how his creation feels. Now, I don't believe in God because I haven't seen enough evidence to convince me that such a being exists. Moreover, the gods that have been described so far in human history, none of them seem to be practical or even plausible within the reality that we live in, this universe, because they have to disobey their own rules that they set up themselves in order to do a lot of things that they do. I mean, like killing 99% of the creatures that live on Earth, burning whole cities because they did something that he didn't like, punishing people for merely not believing in him or not loving him seems like a creature that has no empathy for others and is downright selfish. I mean, capricious and not worthy of worship by anyone. Now, one of the arguments I hear on online a lot is that God is just because God created us. And anything that God does to us is justified because we are his creation. That's a weak excuse, if you ask me. You would think that a loving creator would want to guide and nurture his creation in a more direct and more positive way than a bunch of ancient proclamations that have outdated, archaic information that contain an archaic form of morality and ideal of justice that we've learned better than that since then. His morality wouldn't change with the growth of human knowledge. And that's what we see in the record of gods throughout history, is this progression of morality change. As we've learned, for example, that slavery was okay during the Old Testament and so forth, even up till like the 1800s. Well, there's still slavery in the world today. I mean, I'm not sure what can be done about that at this point, but the whole thing just seems incredible to me that people would worship a being that is holding over their head eternal punishment if they don't get their beliefs right. And what about the people who really want to believe but haven't got there yet? The sort of fake it till you make it Christianity that's present in the world. Are they going, their God would know that if they're sincere or not, and whether or not they are just pretending to be believers until they make it. I mean, there's so many things, so many different directions I go with this. But the ultimate question is, why is God such a douche? Is everything he does moral? And how is it moral if the moral code that he sets down for us is different than the moral code that he has for himself. I cannot buy a do as I say, not as I do morality from a being that's supposed to be my creator. I mean, that's the bottom line. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please thumbs up it, share it, excuse me, and subscribe to my channel for more things on atheism and life in general. Be awesome, everyone.